Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Happy weekend, chart friends. Checking in on the market as a whole. The S&P 500 hitting all-time highs on Friday. We're pretty much just patiently waiting for the FOMC on Wednesday. I personally will be scaling back, trading a bit on Monday and Tuesday in waiting for that. There will be individual names that certainly have more volatility. BYND has certainly been very volatile, but other than that, just ensuring to pump the brakes a little bit as the market is likely just going to be patiently waiting for Wednesday. The burden of proof remains on the bears. The daily uptrend has been intact at this point for over 2 months, or just about 2 months. And essentially, it's going to be up to the FOMC reaction to be bearish to change the daily uptrend, or I should say break it, and see weekly consolidation. And if it's a bullish reaction in the market to the FOMC, then the all-time highs continue. 296.70 remains our most important support level, and that is the bulls are getting a lot more space now and getting a bit more comfortable where we can consolidate and still hold that 296.70 level potentially. So we are still watching also potential of the ascending wedge pattern, which is a bearish pattern to be keeping an eye on, but essentially it just shows a tightening range with a lack of consolidation. So potential if we were to see a bull reaction to the FOMC and then pull back, just watching this overall pattern to know that when we lose the daily uptrend, weekly consolidation will be coming. IWM, just a back and forth show here, and it's the 4-hour equilibrium that's most likely. We have the low, high of the bull move. Let's draw it out here. Higher low formed, and we're looking for a lower high compared to 157.79. So if we pull back on Monday and don't break 157.79, we'll look for a higher low compared to 155.09 and a real nice 4-hour equilibrium heading into the midweek, which essentially would be a reaction to the FOMC that we would be waiting for a break. All depends if we get a red day on Monday or not. QQQ, all-time high, still very strong for the bulls. We did pull back and form a brief little support at 192.93, but 190.69 remains the most important support level for me. Apple earnings still remain. Other than that, the majority of the tech sector names have already had their earnings. And again, bulls comfortable because we are likely to hold 190.69, at least on the initial consolidation. Bulls have over 2% of space to work with where we could pull back and maintain the daily uptrend. XLF, strong continuation. Again, I've been highlighting how it's been surprising me that this weekly bull flag confirmed with the potential of the rate hike incoming. 29.07 is a key resistance level, and we are at 2019 highs with the financial sector bulls very much in control, and we would be looking at this base of the 2770s and 2780, which is our most important short-term support level. The healthcare sector still in consolidation mode, but not a whole lot going on. Bears aren't getting a whole lot of follow-through. We also have the Democratic debates midweek, 2 nights again. And we know that there's potential for the healthcare and biotech sector to maybe get some bad news, depending on, not bad news, but just, bad narrative, bad discussion, as Democrats like to talk about cutting prices and all that stuff. But right now, anything under 92, 97 is just a lower high, and we are looking for a weekly higher low to form. So the fact that this daily consolidation is pretty contained and the lower highs and lower lows are not getting much follow through has us watching for a weekly higher low to form. Biotech sector, also a whole lot of back and forth here. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, anything under 86.15 is just going to be a 4-hour lower high. And if we cannot break 86.15 on Monday, we'll look for a pullback and we'll look for a higher low compared to 84.01. Essentially, the opposite 4-hour pattern that we are watching on IWM. And last, the VIX here, still watching the potential falling wedge on the daily time frame. And again, the reason we watch the falling wedge is because we dropped to lower lows without significant follow through for the bears. And that shows potential exhaustion to the downside. And perhaps we're going to see some volatility spike in the market. And to do so, we would need to see a break of 1470 at this point. That's the most important resistance level for me. And if we get over that, we will clearly be breaking this falling wedge bullish at that point. So bottom line is I'm remaining patient until the reaction of the FOMC. I'm not going to have any positions heading into the FOMC, as I'm not going to gamble on what the reaction is going to be. And I will then look to establish game plans after that and look for the daily uptrend for the S&P 500 to be the most important guide as to where we're headed here as we start August. I appreciate you watching. Have a good rest of your weekend. Check out the commodities video. There's always other opportunities out there as well. And there's going to be some opportunities shaping up in oil and natural gas as we head into the fall, in my opinion. Thanks again. See you soon. Couple nature and animal updates, and then we'll end it with a video of a bear from just a couple days ago. This was in the morning while I was doing my stock routine and then went to get some coffee. He was passing through the yard again. So I'm going to have to worry about him potentially messing with chickens or goats or the garden. But in general, he seems like he's just using the creek as a guide, really just a trail to go about his way. So it doesn't seem very interested in the property itself. So that may be an ongoing saga. So I went back to the other place that I was living, which was called the Tiny Temple, where I had all those tomatoes and cucumbers, and I've been taking the pots of the stuff that die, like the cucumbers are all done, so I took those pots and I'm putting that soil in our raised beds and putting the cucumbers and decomposing plant material in there as well. But the tomatoes are popping off. We're getting dozens and dozens of big, beautiful tomatoes. I've been making salsa with them. But I went back, and as I was moving the cucumbers, 2 big praying mantises were jumping off of it, and they were like, their bodies were like that big. And if you remember the videos where they were tiny, tiny, certainly all grown up, and nice to see that some of them survived. So I got a video of that somewhere, but it's on a cell phone and it's bad footage, so maybe I'll dig that up when I'm contentless. Other duck stuff. Went out the other day in the evening to stretch by the pond after wrapping up a work day, and I've seen the ducks stretch before as individuals, but they all were stretching in unison with me in terms of, moving their wings and stretching their legs out, and I thought that was really funny. I've never seen them do that as a group before. So, what else? Ducks. Yesterday I fed them, and Mom usually stands on the back, and the ducks run up to the bird feeder to try and get some scraps, and I throw some food down for them there, some corn and all that good stuff. And she just watches, so I have to give her separate food. So I went and gave her separate food. She was on the other side of a raised bed, and it was the funniest thing that I've seen in a long time, where she would put her head down and take a bite of food, and then every second she would pop up and look, and her head was she would disappear, and then her little head would come over the raised bed. I'll have to try and film it because it's hysterical. What else we got? Bear, ducks. The hawk dove after the ducks recently. I made some food and was heading out to eat it on the porch, and I had my hands filled with plates and bowls and stuff. And the ducks were running from one pond to the other right as I walked outside, and the hawk swooped down at them. Didn't really try and make a full attempt to get one of them, but definitely an ongoing concern of Mama Duck is that hawk is around. So I ran it off, and a lot of people say, you should just let it eat the ducks and let nature be nature. Yeah, that's one way to look at it, but the way that I look at it is that hawk has not eaten a duck in many months, and it's been fine. And I've also watched it catch multiple frogs. So the hawk can stay alive and sustain itself and keep doing its frog thing. It doesn't have to eat the ducks. And my goal is to keep those ducks safe. So I'm going to keep doing it. Other than that, I'll see you all soon.